There comes a quiet hour in life when you begin to sense it. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a soft awareness that the race no longer excites you the way it once did. You look around and notice something unsettling. The people still running, still grasping, still proving themselves. And you realize with a strange mixture of relief and fear that you are no longer one of them. But here is what nobody tells you about this moment. The relief does not arrive clean. It comes tangled with a deeper question. If I am no longer chasing more, then what am I doing? If my value is not measured in what I have gathered, then where does it live? Pause for a breath and ask yourself, how much of your exhaustion comes not from effort, but from the terror of stopping? After 60, something deeper whispers. What if peace does not come from adding, but from finally feeling that you have enough? A life becomes light the moment you stop measuring it. 1. Release the need to compare before it consumes your final years. Comparison does not shout, it seeps in quietly. You notice someone else's home during a visit. Not with envy exactly, just a quiet inventory. They remodeled, their garden looks maintained, their children visit more often, their retirement seems fuller, and something inside you tightens. A whisper says, you should have done more, you should be further along. Let me ask you something. How often do you measure the worth of your remaining years against someone else's calendar? How many times this week have you diminished your own peace because someone else appeared to have found theirs more easily? There are people who spend their final decades trapped in a silent competition they can never win. Not because they are not good enough, but because the rules keep changing. Someone is always healthier, wealthier, more loved. And the finish line is invisible. But pause and consider this. If every path unfolds at a different hour, if every soul carries different lessons, different timings, then why are you holding yours against another's clock? Imagine two lamps glowing in the same room, one bright, one soft. Both give light, both fulfill their purpose. The bright lamp does not diminish the soft one, and the soft lamp does not envy the bright. Yet you dim your own flame every time you compare. When you compare, you do not become wiser. You simply trade presence for resentment. You abandon your own unfolding to chase shadows that were never meant to be yours. Buddhism teaches, comparison is the thief of inner peace. Not because others have more, but because your attention has left your own garden to count flowers in someone else's yard. And while you are busy measuring, your own soil dries, your own roots weaken. Ask yourself gently, where do you shrink because someone else shines? What part of your life feels insufficient only because you saw it reflected next to another's highlight reel? By now you know how the game works. You know that what people show is rarely what they carry. You know the neighbor with the pristine lawn might be drowning in loneliness. You know the friend whose children visit every week might feel more obligated than loved. You know all of this. And still, you compare. Why? Because comparison is not logical. It is a reflex, a survival mechanism from a time when status determined safety. But you are no longer building a place in the tribe. You are completing a journey inward, and comparison only delays your arrival. The spiritual turning point is simple. You are not here to compete. You are here to complete your own becoming. Try this. For 1 week, catch yourself every time comparison rises. Do not fight it. Just notice. Place one hand on your chest and say quietly, their path is not my measurement. My worth does not live in their story. Do this until your eyes stop scanning for proof that you are falling behind, until you can sit in a room with people whose lives look fuller and feel nothing but presence. That is not indifference, that is freedom. But here is what no one tells you. Releasing comparison does not make you feel lighter immediately. At first, it makes you feel exposed. Because comparison was a distraction, it kept you focused outward, so you did not have to face inward. And when you stop comparing, the real question surfaces. Not, am I doing as well as them? But, am I doing what I came here to do? That question has no comparison. It can only be answered in the quiet, in the stillness, in the moments when you stop running and finally listen. 2. Practice humility before life humbles you. With age often comes certainty, not wisdom. Certainty. You have seen enough. You know how things work. You know what people are really like. And slowly, without noticing, your mind begins to close. Not violently. Gradually. You stop listening to finish thoughts and start listening to confirm what you already believe. You stop asking questions and start delivering verdicts. You stop learning and start defending the version of the world you constructed decades ago. And here is the danger. The more rigid you become, the more fragile you are. Life does not stop shifting just because you decided you have seen enough. People change, new truths emerge, and if you have locked yourself into certainty, every change feels like a threat. Every new idea feels like an attack. This is not strength. This is fear pretending to be confidence. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you said, I might be wrong about this? When was the last time you updated a belief you have held for 30 years? When was the last time you listened to someone younger and genuinely considered they might see something you have missed? If you cannot remember, you are not wise. You are calcified. Buddhism teaches, wisdom is not certainty. Wisdom is softness. It is the willingness to remain a student even when the world calls you a master. It is the humility to say, I have lived long, but I have not lived everything. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the difference between defending yourself and understanding yourself. One tightens the chest, one clenches the jaw, the other opens the chest, softens the breath, creates space. That space is where humility lives. Humility is not lowering yourself. It is releasing the need to be right more than you need to be at peace. Think about the arguments you have had in recent years. How many were truly about the issue, and how many were about protecting your position? How many relationships have grown distant, not because of deep disagreement, but because you could not soften, could not bend? Here is what happens when you practice humility before life forces it. You become unteachable by suffering. Life will humble everyone eventually. Bodies fail, minds slow, plans collapse. And when that humbling comes uninvited, it arrives as bitterness. But if you humble yourself first, if you soften while you still have strength, then when life brings its inevitable losses, you meet them not as defeats but as confirmations of what you already understood. Impermanence, uncertainty, the limits of control. Buddhism offers a practice for this. One of the 5 remembrances. I am subject to aging. I have not gone beyond aging. I am subject to illness. I have not gone beyond illness. This is not morbid. This is preparation. When you remember you are not exempt from life's laws, you stop expecting exemptions. You stop treating change as betrayal. Try this. Once a day, Practice the phrase, "I may still be wrong." Not about everything, just about one thing, one belief, one assumption. Say it quietly. Feel the resistance. Notice how the ego grips. Then gently let that gripping soften. The people who age with grace are not the ones who know the most. They are the ones still willing to be surprised, still willing to be corrected, still willing to let go of outdated maps when the territory has changed. So before life humbles you with loss, with illness, with irrelevance, practice humbling yourself with curiosity, with openness, with the quiet courage to say, "I have lived, yes, but I have not stopped learning." That is wisdom. 3. Stay clear when your emotions rise. Not every storm needs your participation. There is a moment, brief but critical, between when an emotion rises and when you act on it. In that space, everything is decided. Your relationships, your peace, the quality of your remaining years. But most people never notice that space. They feel anger and they speak. They feel fear and they react. The emotion rises and they become it. After 60, the cost of emotional reactivity is no longer just awkward apologies. The cost is estrangement. Years of silence with a child because you could not soften in one heated moment. Friendships ended over unchecked sharpness. A reputation dissolved because you let your temper speak when your wisdom should have stayed silent. Ask yourself, how many of your deepest regrets were born not from what happened to you, but from how you responded when your mind was not calm? Buddhism teaches that emotions are like weather. They arise, they intensify, they pass. But we treat them like permanent truths. We say, "I am angry," as if anger is identity rather than weather moving through. Picture a glass of water. When shaken, it clouds. You cannot see through it. But when left still, the particles settle. The water clears. Your mind works the same way. You do not solve life while your heart is trembling. You wait, you breathe, you let the sediment settle, and then, only then, do you respond. This is not suppression. This is recognizing that your first emotional reaction is often not your deepest truth. It is often old conditioning, old wounds, old patterns. Here is the practice. When a strong emotion rises, when you feel the heat in your chest, the urge to speak immediately, pause, just for 60 seconds. In that minute, do not try to calm yourself. Just observe it. Notice where it lives in your body. Notice the story it is telling you. And then ask, is immediate action truly required? Or is this just the emotion demanding to be obeyed? Most of the time, you will find that the urgency is false. The conversation can wait. The response can be delayed. Think about the elders you have known who aged with dignity. The ones whose presence felt calm even in conflict. The ones who could hear criticism without collapsing into defensiveness. They were not emotionless. They felt everything. But they had learned the space between feeling and reacting. Now think about the ones who aged bitterly, quick to anger, holding grudges for decades. Their emotional volatility pushed people away until they sat alone, convinced the world had abandoned them, when really they had burned every bridge in moments of unchecked reactivity. Which path are you on? Emotional discipline does not improve automatically with age. Some people become gentler, but others become more reactive, more trapped in loops they have repeated so many times the grooves are deep. Every time you pause instead of react, you are carving a new groove, a groove of clarity, and over time that becomes the default. So ask yourself, what emotion controls you most? Anger? Fear? Pride? Name it and commit. The next time that emotion rises, you will not act from it. You will feel it, observe it, and let it settle before you respond. The glass will shake, the water will cloud, but you can choose to let it settle, and in that choice, you reclaim your peace. 4. Stop acting from impulse before it costs you what remains. There is a kind of foolishness that does not come from ignorance but from restlessness. The urge to prove, the urge to catch up, the urge to grab what feels like a final opportunity. After 60, these impulses intensify, because now there is a deadline, a ticking clock, and that awareness can push you into decisions your younger self would have recognized as desperate. The sudden investment that promises to recover lost years. The impulsive move, because this place feels haunted by what you did not become. The severed relationship, because if they do not see your value now, what is the point? Pause and ask, are you choosing from wisdom or from fear of missing out? Buddhism teaches that impulsiveness is not freedom. It is reaction mistaken for action. It is the mind fleeing discomfort rather than facing it. After 60, the cost of impulsiveness is heavier. Retirement savings depleted. Grandchildren you lectured harshly because their choices triggered your unresolved disappointments. Friendships ended in wounded pride, words you cannot unsay. And there is the cost to your own inner stability. Every time you act impulsively, you train yourself not to trust your own judgment. Ask yourself honestly, how many of your current problems are not life happening to you, but you happening to your life through unchecked impulse? The deeper strength now is restraint. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every door that opens is one you should walk through. Not every reaction deserves your energy. Think of restraint not as restriction but as conservation. You have limited energy now, limited time, limited capacity for recovery. Every impulsive choice is borrowing from a shrinking reserve. When you were younger, you could afford mistakes, but now the margin for error is thinner. The recovery time is longer. The people you push away might not come back. So what does restraint look like? It looks like feeling the impulse to send that message, make that purchase, deliver that criticism, and instead saying, I will wait 24 hours. It looks like recognizing that the intensity of your desire to act immediately is often proportional to how unwise the action is. It looks like asking, am I moving toward something or running from something? Because moving toward is intentional. Running from is reactive. There is a Buddhist story about a monk seeking enlightenment through extreme practices. One day, he heard a musician tuning an instrument. The musician said, if the string is too tight, it will break. If it is too loose, it will not play. And the monk understood. His impulsive striving was the string too tight. Your life is that string. Before you act, ask, what am I really seeking? Is it the thing itself, or the feeling I imagine it will give me? And if it is the feeling, can I create that without the impulsive action? Often, you can. The impulse to move cities is often a desire to feel new, but you can create newness through new habits, new connections. The impulse to cut off a relationship is often a desire to feel powerful, but you can reclaim power through boundary setting, through honest conversation. Sometimes maturity is simply not moving, sitting with the discomfort, letting the wave of urgency rise and fall without acting on it. So ask yourself, What impulse keeps rising that you keep obeying without questioning? And what would happen if, just once, you let that impulse rise and did nothing? Because the life you are building now is measured not in how much you do, but in how wisely you choose what to do. And wisdom is often found not in the decision to act, but in the strength to wait. 5. Free yourself from hidden debts before they become your inheritance. Debt is not only financial, it is emotional. The apology you never offered, the resentment you never released, the guilt that has lived in your chest for so long you have forgotten its origin, the obligation to be someone you no longer are, to maintain an image that exhausts you. And the cruelest part? No one is asking you to carry this. You are doing it to yourself. Imagine your heart as a bowl. Instead of carrying only the water meant for you, it has been filled with the rain of others, their expectations, their disappointments, their unspoken demands, their unresolved pain that somehow became your responsibility. Over time, the bowl becomes heavy, and you wonder why peace feels so distant when you are doing everything right. Because doing everything right often means carrying everything offered, whether it belongs to you or not. Ask yourself gently, who are you still emotionally paying, even though the debt was never yours? What weight would you drop if no one judged you for letting it go? There are people who spend their final decades servicing debts they do not owe, still trying to earn a parent's approval that will never come, still performing the role of peacekeeper in a family that mistakes your silence for agreement, still carrying guilt over a marriage that ended, a choice you made, a person you could not save. Buddhism teaches, not all debts are yours to repay. Not all suffering is yours to end. Not all brokenness is yours to fix. But letting go of hidden debts feels like betrayal, like abandonment, like admitting you were not strong enough. And that is the trap, because you were strong enough. But strength is not measured by how much you can carry. It is measured by knowing when to set something down. Close your eyes and visualize yourself standing beside a quiet river. In your hands, you hold stones. Heavy. You have been carrying them for so long you barely remember picking them up. And now, with each exhale, you place one burden into the flowing water. The burden of being the person everyone relies on without ever being allowed to need anyone yourself. The burden of pretending you are fine when you are fracturing. The burden of guilt that was handed to you by someone who could not carry their own shame. Watch the current take each weight away and feel what it is like to stand with empty hands. This is not cruelty, this is mercy toward yourself. But how do you know what is your debt and what is not? Here is the measure. If carrying it drains you without nourishing anyone else, it is not your debt. If releasing it would create space for both you and the other person to grow, it is not your debt. If you are holding it out of fear, guilt, or the belief that you are the only one capable, it is not your debt. Your debts are tied to your choices, your words, your actions. But someone else's unprocessed pain, not your debt. Someone else's refusal to grow, not your debt. Someone else's expectation that you remain small so they feel big, not your debt. And the hardest one, someone else's disappointment that you are not who they needed you to be, not your debt. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying. There is a profound difference. Caring is presence. Carrying is exhaustion. Caring is offering what you can without depleting yourself. Carrying is sacrificing yourself on the altar of someone else's unwillingness to do their own work. Think about the relationships in your life right now. How many are mutual? How many involve you listening, them venting, you adjusting, them demanding, you apologizing, them blaming? Those are the hidden debts. Releasing these debts does not always mean ending relationships. Sometimes it means redefining them, setting boundaries, saying, "I love you, and I cannot continue to function as your emotional caretaker." Some people will understand, some will not. And that is the test. The people who truly value you will adjust, but the people who are only relating to you as a function will resist. They will call you selfish. And in that moment, you will know the relationship was never about you. It was about what you provided. This will hurt. But it will also clarify. So what new strength could grow within you if space finally returned to your heart? What dreams have been waiting beneath the weight of obligations that were never truly yours? Freedom begins when you lighten the load, one stone at a time, one burden released, one hidden debt acknowledged and set down. Your life was never meant to be a storage room for the pain of others. It was meant to be the garden where your own peace grows. 6. Walk away from unnecessary drama before it defines your legacy. Notice how little conflict is actually required. If you trace back through the arguments, the tensions, the rifts over the decades, how many were truly necessary? How many were about principles that mattered, and how many were simply ego asking to be heard? After 60, you do not have the luxury of pretending drama is passion. The cost is too high, not just in the moment, but in how you will be remembered. Your legacy is not built in your successes, it is built in your daily temperament, in whether people felt safe or anxious around you, in whether your presence brought calm or chaos. And if you spend your remaining years entangled in unnecessary drama, that is what you leave behind, not your achievements, but the memory of someone who could never let things rest. Ask yourself, how many of the conflicts in your life right now are about something real? And how many are about your need to be right, to be seen, to be validated? There is a difference between standing up for what matters and needing every conversation to be a battlefield. At this stage of life, peace is more valuable than being correct. What do you gain by winning an argument with your adult child about how they are raising their kids? Even if you are right, what does winning cost you? You might be right. And you might also be alone. You might be correct. And you might also be cut off from the grandchildren you want to know. Buddhism teaches that right speech is not just about honesty, it is about timing, about necessity, about whether your words will create more harm than healing, even if they are true. The Buddha offered a simple test before speaking. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? And if it does not pass all three, silence is the wiser choice. But we often speak as if truth alone justifies harm, as if being right earns us the right to wound. It does not. Most of the drama you are involved in is optional. You are choosing it. Through patterns you have repeated for so long they feel like personality rather than habit. The need to have the last word. The refusal to let a comment pass without correction. The inability to hear criticism without defending. The compulsion to insert your opinion into every decision. These are not strengths. These are signs that your ego is driving more than you realize. Visualize stepping back from a heated exchange. You feel the urge to escalate, to prove your point, to make sure they understand how wrong they are. And instead of speaking, you breathe. You pause. You let the silence hold what your words were about to shatter. The silence that follows is not weakness, it is strength refined. This does not mean you become a doormat. There is a difference between avoiding conflict and choosing peace. Avoiding conflict is fear-driven. It is swallowing your truth to keep the peace, and it breeds resentment. Choosing peace is wisdom-driven. It is recognizing that not every battle needs to be fought, that some conflicts are distractions from deeper connection. Try this. For 1 week, before you engage in any conflict, ask yourself, will this matter in a year? Will this conversation bring us closer or create distance? And if the answer is, this will not matter, this will create distance, then step back. Choose silence, choose space. Some people will mistake your silence for agreement. Let them. Some will think you are weakening. Let them. Because the people who matter will recognize what you are doing. You are not weakening. You are refining. You are not losing your edge. You are sharpening your discernment. Over time, the relationships built on drama will either fade or transform. The people who only engage through conflict will move on, and you will feel relief rather than loss. Because what you thought was connection was actually just mutual agitation. Calm is not avoidance. It is wisdom choosing its battles carefully. So ask yourself, what drama are you still feeding that is not worth your remaining energy? What relationship is structured around conflict that you are ready to redefine or release? You do not need to announce it. You just stop participating. You stop taking the bait. You stop letting other people's chaos become your emergency. And slowly, you reclaim your peace. That is the legacy you create. Not the person who always had something to say, but the person who knew when to stay silent. And in your final years, when people remember you, they will not remember the debates you won. They will remember how they felt in your presence. Make sure that feeling is peace. 7. Build small daily habits of clarity. Transformation is not dramatic. It arrives in the small, repeated choices you make when no one is watching. After 60, your relationship with habit changes. The body is less forgiving, the mind less flexible. What you repeat now carves deeper grooves because you have less time to undo patterns that no longer serve you. So the question is not, what big change do I need to make? The question is, what small action, repeated daily, will keep my spirit steady? Because clarity is not something you achieve once. It is something you practice. And if you do not build habits that protect your clarity, the noise of the world will erode it slowly until you wake up one day and do not recognize your own mind. Ask yourself, what does your typical morning look like? Do you reach for your phone before your feet touch the ground? Do you flood your mind with news, with notifications, with other people's chaos, before you have even greeted your own thoughts? Or do you create space? Buddhism teaches that the morning sets the tone. The state of mind you cultivate in the first hour shapes your reactions throughout the day. If you start scattered, you stay scattered. If you start anxious, anxiety colors everything. But if you start with clarity, you create a foundation that holds when the day becomes difficult. Try this. Before you do anything else, sit. Just sit. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your chest. Feel your breath. And as you breathe, say quietly, I am here. I am alive. This moment is enough. 30 seconds. 1 minute if you can. No grand meditation. Just presence. Do this every morning. Not when you feel like it, every morning. Watch what happens over weeks. Watch how that one small habit begins to shift your internal weather, how you become less reactive, how clarity becomes less rare because you are practicing it daily. But habits of clarity are not just about morning rituals. They are about what you consume throughout the day. What are you feeding your mind? News cycles that profit from your anxiety, social media that thrives on comparison, conversations that drain more than they nourish. After 60, your mind is not as resilient as it once was. It does not bounce back from negativity as quickly. What you absorb, you carry longer. So curate your inputs carefully. If watching the news leaves you agitated and powerless, stop watching. If certain people leave you depleted, limit your exposure. If scrolling triggers comparison, delete the apps. This is not avoidance. This is stewardship. You are tending your inner garden. Another habit, movement. Not exercise in the punishing sense, just movement. A walk, gentle stretching, anything that reconnects you with your body, because clarity does not live only in the mind, it lives in the body. When the body is stagnant, the mind follows. A 10-minute walk every day is more valuable than an hour-long workout once a week. Small, daily, sustainable. Maybe it is writing 3 things you are grateful for before bed. Maybe it is lighting a candle in the evening and sitting with it for 5 minutes. Maybe it is reading something nourishing before sleep. These are not dramatic practices, they are small. But small practices, repeated, create the life you live. You do not need grand reinvention. You need consistency in what nourishes you. Tiny acts of awareness, repeated, shape the atmosphere of your remaining years. Start today. Choose one small habit, one practice that takes less than 5 minutes, and commit to it for 30 days. Not perfectly, but consistently. This is not magic. This is discipline. And discipline, at this stage of life, is not harshness. It is love. It is caring for your mind the way you would care for anything precious. 8. Remember that everything changes, including you. Your body changes. Your roles change. Your circle becomes smaller. And one day, you too will step beyond this life. This is not a morbid thought. This is reality. And the sooner you stop running from it, the sooner you can begin to live fully within it. Buddhism does not shy away from death. It places it at the center of spiritual practice, not to create fear but to create urgency, not to depress but to awaken. Because when you truly understand that time is not endless, you stop wasting it on resentment, you stop delaying forgiveness, you stop pretending you will have another chance to say what needs to be said. The 5 remembrances, practiced by Buddhist monks for centuries, includes this. All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will change and vanish. Everything, your health, your independence, your relationships, your sense of self. All of it is already in the process of changing. And you can either resist this truth and suffer, or you can accept it and find the strange freedom that comes with impermanence. When you stop clinging to permanence, you finally become present. When you accept that today is fragile, today becomes precious. Think about how you spend your time right now. How much is wasted on grudges that will not matter in 6 months? On worries that will never materialize? On arguments that serve no purpose except to prove you still have a voice? If you knew you had 6 months left, would you spend them the same way? Would you hold the same resentments? Would you avoid the same conversations? You do not know how much time you have, but after 60, the illusion of infinite time is harder to maintain, and that is not a curse. that is a gift. It is the gift of clarity, the gift of urgency, the gift of finally understanding that presence is not optional. It is all you have. Ask yourself, if today were your last day of clarity, of mobility, of independence, what would you regret not saying, not doing, not releasing? Do not wait. The apology you have been avoiding, offer it now. The forgiveness you have been withholding, extend it now. The call you have been putting off, make it now. Not because you are dying tomorrow, but because living as if you might changes everything. Buddhism teaches that meditating on death is not morbid. It is the doorway to life, because only when you accept that everything ends do you begin to value what is here. The sun on your skin, the sound of a voice you love, the simple act of breathing without pain. These are not small things. They are everything. Try this practice. Once a day, pause and name 3 things that are present right now that will not always be. Maybe it is your ability to walk. Maybe it is a friend who is still alive. Maybe it is your own mind, still clear. Name them. Feel them. Let the awareness of their impermanence make them more vivid, not less. This is not about becoming morbid. It is about becoming awake. And when you are awake, you stop living on autopilot. You stop sleepwalking through your remaining years. You realize life is happening now, and it will not wait for you to be ready. One day, and you do not know which day, will be your last clear day, your last pain-free day, your last day with someone you love. And when that day comes, you will not regret the risks you took. You will not regret the honesty you offered. You will only regret the moments you were not present for, the times you were there but not really there. There is not more time. There is only this time. And this time is asking, are you here? If the answer is yes, then you are already living the lighter life, because you are no longer burdened by the illusion of permanence. Nothing lasts forever. And that is exactly why it matters now. After 60, the goal is not expansion, it is refinement. You are not here to accumulate more achievements, more possessions, more proof that you mattered. You are here to distill, to clarify, to become the essence of what you have always been, beneath the roles, the expectations, the endless striving, refining your thoughts so they no longer run wild, refining your reactions so they no longer hijack your peace, refining what you allow into your inner world so that what remains is only what nourishes. You do not need brilliance. You need clarity. You do not need more years. You need deeper moments. And depth does not come from doing more. It comes from being more present with what is already here. Take one breath now. Feel the simplicity of being here, in this body, in this moment, with nothing to prove, nothing to chase, nothing missing. Just a life, ordinary and sacred, unfolding one breath at a time. This is what Buddhist teachers have known for millennia, that the lightness you seek is not earned through achievement. It is revealed through release. You release the need to compare. You release the grip of certainty. You release the storm of unchecked emotion. You release the impulse to control. You release the debts that were never yours. You release the drama that drains you. You build small habits that anchor you in clarity. And you remember, daily, that everything changes. And in that releasing, something happens. Not dramatic, not sudden, but unmistakable. You become lighter, not because you have less, but because you need less. Not because life becomes easier, but because you stop making it harder. You become the mountain, unmoved by the weather, present through the seasons, steady while everything around you shifts. And perhaps the quiet promise of this stage is this: you no longer need to win at life, you only need to live it gently. Live it with presence, live it with forgiveness for yourself and others. Live it with the understanding that you were never here to control the outcome, but to participate fully in the unfolding. And when your final breath comes, may you meet it not with regret for what you did not achieve, but with gratitude for the moments you were fully alive. The moments you were here, really here. Not performing, not proving, not pretending, just present. And in that presence, you will find what you have been seeking all along. Not more life, but the fullness of the life you already have. Let it be enough. Let yourself be enough. And let your remaining years be not a frantic race to the end, but a gentle walk home. Welcome home,